Good afternoon and welcome to today's session of Imagine America Radio, our continuing Career College Exposition webinar series. My name is Bob Martin and I am with the Imagine America Foundation. Joining me on today's session of Imagine America Radio is my foundation colleague, Lee Doubleday. Lee and I are excited about today's topic, the overlooked value of technical school certificates, sponsored by Universal Technical Institutes, or UTI. UTI is this country's leading provider of high-quality, career-focused education at 13 locations nationwide. UTI is also a 20-year sponsor of the Imagine America Scholarship and Award programs, having provided admissions-based scholarship financial aid to more than 16,000 enrolling Imagine America students. Without taking valuable time from our presentation, I'd like to refer any and all questions regarding the Imagine America Foundation to our website, www.imagine-america.org.
Since our beginning in 1999, Imagine America remains a leading sponsor of scholarship aid to enrolling high school students. However, our country faces a serious shortage in certified technicians. We hear from employers in virtually all sections of the country desperately looking for qualified employees, so we need to do more. Our partner in today's presentation again is Universal Technical Institute, and joining us today to discuss in detail the technician shortage and how UTI is helping meet this need is Dr. Stephen Coyle. Dr. Coyle is a nationally recognized expert in this area with an extensive K-12 background. But before turning the program over to Dr. Coyle, let me outline today's agenda. Today's session of Imagine America Radio will be 30 minutes maximum with question and answers at the end of the presentation. All participants can submit questions while the presentation is in session via the Q&A feature or the chat feature in this Zoom meeting. At the end of the presentation, I'll then present any questions offered by the participants, and we'll address as many questions as possible, but we will have a hard close at 2:30. So without taking any more time out of today's presentation, let me turn today's session over to Dr. Stephen Coyle. Dr. Coyle, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Bob and Lee, and good afternoon, everyone. And thank you for spending a small part of your afternoon with me, and greetings from the National FFA Convention where I'm at right now. Let's get right into the presentation. I wanted to spend just a couple minutes talking to you about UTI and a little bit about what we do before I get really in what I want to talk to you about today. First of all, UTI, we're the leading provider of technicians in the transportation industry. We have 14 campuses nationwide, 12 that are active right now, 2 that are in progress in Austin and in Miramar, which is down by Miami. The national presence is huge because it allows students flexibility and added opportunities for careers. You'd be hard pressed to walk into a dealership and say UTI and they wouldn't know who you were talking about. So the national presence gives us, or our students, I should say, a huge, I guess, leg up on the competition when it comes to landing a career opportunity. We teach in 8 different STEM areas: auto, diesel, collision, motorcycle, marine, NASCAR, CNC, and welding. We call them the 8 great STEM careers. But what you don't see are all the careers within these. For instance, we have a student that loves cars, just loves to be around cars, but really doesn't want to turn wrenches. Is there a career for them? Absolutely. They could be a service writer for a dealership, or they could be a claims adjuster for an insurance company. You know, when you hit a deer, it's pretty obvious what happens on the outside, but what you don't see are all the sensors, all the damage to the computers, everything on the inside. And a trained technician would know what to look for on that. So that'd be another opportunity. And I can go on and on. But the idea is that when we do the interview with the student, we explore what they're interested in so we can help guide them in the right pathway that's going to meet them and their needs. We offer over 35 industry partners. These are the big dogs of the industry, as I love to call them. GM, Ford, BMW, Porsche, Toyota, all these companies is who we work with. Now, schools will tell you that they have industry partners. We have hundreds of them. But the alliances with the manufacturers, that's huge, because these guys are coming to us looking for technicians specifically. They're all starved for technicians, and they need them, and they're competing with everybody else to get the top technicians they can. Why we love working with these guys, because they are strong, stable companies. They pay well, and they offer great benefits, and they offer stability for a great career. But here's what I really wanted to talk to you about today, and that's you. And you with parents, you with your students, you with other educators, and hopefully I can give you some tidbits of things that you might be able to use as you go through your daily routines. First, I want to start off with to succeed in the modern economy, there's no secret here. You need skills. There are two types of skills. There are what we call the hard skills. That's where you can actually do something. And then there's the soft skills. And oftentimes what we do is we pit one against the other. You're either one or the other. That's not true. They actually go very well together. For instance, a person may have great skills that they can work on a car or a truck, or they can weld or something like that. But then the soft skills, the ability to communicate with your customers, with each other, because oftentimes technicians work in teams. That's huge too. Writing skills. You know, we don't even teach penmanship anymore in schools. How, you tell a kid to write cursive, they look at you like you've got two heads. They'll text, but those writing skills are important too. And so, a lot of schools, especially career type schools like ours, they'll say, yeah, we don't teach anything else other than just working on the cars or working on the trucks or whatever the case may be. Well, we can't say that, because we do teach the other areas. Now, we don't teach 20th century world literature and Greek mythology, but we do teach math. We do teach science. We do teach communication skills. We do teach engineering and the technology that's involved there. That's all part of it. You have to be able to communicate with your customers. You have to be able to communicate with each other. So once again, having the hard technical skills is only good when you have the soft skills, the people skills to go with it. That enhances it. Here's a statistic that you might find kind of startling, but when you think about it, nearly all certificate programs, 94% to be exact, and 3 out of 5 associate degrees, almost 60%, are awarded in career-oriented fields. Now, you may think your students are going off to college to get their bachelor's degree, when in reality, they're not. They're looking for a career. They want something that they can attain quickly. Not all of your students are equipped to go off to college and spend 4, 5, 6 years of their life there. They just can't do it. And you know kids as well as I do. They're now people. They're in the presence. That's what they want. They Snapchat, they Instagram, they text. That's what they love to do. They don't even like to talk on the phone, for Pete's sake. They want to text. They want to do these other things. So that's why they're looking for career opportunities that they can get into more quickly. I just had breakfast this morning at the National FFA convention with a young man. He's 19 years old. He's a welder. He's already got his own business. He's 19 years old. He didn't tell me how much he's making, but I'll bet you he's making quite a bit of money. So that's what you need to remember, is what these students, many of your students, not all, but many of your students are looking for. And then along the same lines, about 50% of students taking undergraduate coursework are enrolled in certificate and associate degree programs. That goes in line with what I just told you, that once again, these students are looking for a career they can get in, get out, and get employed and start making money. And like our graduates at UTI, many of them are 19 years old when they leave the program. Some are 20, and so that's huge to these students, because they feel like they're getting better ROI. There's less expense involved. And so they're just happier all around about, the decision that they're making and the career pathway that they're choosing. Now, when you're looking for a technical certificate program, there are 3 things that I would advise you to look for. Number 1, look for industry relationships. That's huge. The second part, occupationally focused curriculum. And then finally, employment assistance. So let's back up. Industry relationships. That's the screen I showed you just a little bit earlier. We have over 35 alliances with manufacturers, plus we have hundreds of industry partners that we work with too. Those industry relationships, that's who is going to be hiring our students. So it's important that we have that relationship with them so that they feel confident that they can hire our students and put them to work with their dealerships. So that's the first one. The second one, occupationally focused curriculum. Remember, this type of student, as I said earlier, they're not into 20th century world literature. They're not into Greek mythology and all these other fields. Those are important. I'm not downplaying them. I'm saying these type of students, they're just not interested in that. They want to learn how to work on a truck. They want to work on a boat or a motorcycle, wherever the case may be. Occupationally focused curriculum. And who else likes that? The employer, because they know that the student is coming out ready to go, ready to enhance that dealership or whoever it is that they're going to work for. And then finally, employment assistance. Why are the students going to school in the first place? To get place in their career. They want to make money. They want to have a family someday. They want to have a house and a car. They want to have all those things. So that employment assistance at UTI, we don't feel like we're done until we've accomplished that part. We're very proud of our placement percentage with our graduates, and we work hard to get them placed into their chosen field of study. The other thing you have to remember is that these interlink with each other. If you don't have good industry relationships, then employment assistance is difficult. And employment assistance is difficult if you don't have the occupationally focused curriculum. Because once again, what are employers looking for? They're looking for skills, what you bring to the table. So when you're looking for a technical certificate program, keep in mind that all three of these play an important role in the development of the student. Now I'm going to switch gears completely on you and talk about a program that we are so excited about, and it's called Ignite Worldwide. Ignite is an acronym, Inspiring Girls Now in Technology Evolution. The Ignite program, we came upon this just recently and got really excited about what we saw. This program, the idea is to open the door for girls to get involved in STEM activities, to show them that, hey, these are things you can do too. At UTI, about 4% of our population is female. We would like to change that. And I know there are other places that would like to change that too. But it's difficult, when girls don't know what is out there that's available to them. And so we're very proud of this partnership with Ignite. Their mantra, I love it. You can't be what you can't see. Think for a minute. When's the last time you saw a woman that was a welder or a plumber or an auto or diesel technician or a carpenter? You see you go drive down the road and they're doing road construction. How many girls do you ever see in their crews? And when you do see one, it's like, oh my gosh, it's like it's a novelty. Well, they've got a girl working for them. Well, good for them. It shouldn't be like that. Right? We should be getting more females into these programs. And, the mantra that you can't be what you can't see, these girls don't have any role models to look up to. They don't have anybody that they can emulate, that they, that they can copy. They just don't have that. Kathy Rochveller is the CEO and founder of Ignite Worldwide. She started this back in 1998. And of course, we became involved with it just this past year. And the program itself is really pretty simple. It has 4 parts to it. The first part is we form panels. We host these events at our campuses. We just hosted one a couple of weeks ago at our NASCAR Tech campus. And before that, we had one at our Avondale campus. We have one coming up, I think it's November 17th at our Sacramento campus. So we're really excited about that one coming up. We've had over 100 girls each time. But one of the things that we do is we form panels. We call it Women in STEM. These are women who are successful have successful STEM careers, and it provides these girls someone to ask questions to. Hey, how did you get here? What obstacles did you have? Were you afraid? Were you nervous about doing this? Did you get made fun of? I mean, they can ask all kinds of questions, and the girls do, because we want them to find out what it was like so they can get there too. The second part, we do field trips. We have the girls come to our campus so they can see what a true STEM school looks like. But we also take them to industry, to dealerships, things like that, so they can see what takes place here, to see if maybe they would even want to do that. The third part, workshops. How are girls going to know what they want to do if they've never done it before? So that's one of the things we love to do, is offer STEM activities for them to take part in. You know, get their hands dirty, get in there. You know, like for instance, welding. We have welding simulators so they can do it safely, but see if it's something that maybe they might want to do, and find out if they might be good at it or not. So that's the third part. And then the fourth part, conferences at local colleges. You know, we bring girls in like what we do at our campuses, and we put them in breakout sessions, once again, letting them ask questions and seeing the power in numbers. They see other girls just like them that are thinking about these careers too, so they don't feel like that they're the odd person out, like that they're weird or something, because there are other girls out there that want to do it too. But when you don't have any of your peers around, then you start thinking, gosh, am I the only one? And then you back off. So those go kind of hand in hand with each other. And of course, Ignite, it's gaining national attention. The National Science Foundation, the Anita Borg Social Impact Award, the Department of Education are all recognizing this program and what it's doing. And of course, we are so excited about it, because we're hoping that we can get more and more females into STEM careers, because these places need employees. And so, you know, with females, it's kind of an untapped market. We want to get them involved there. But here's what really got our attention. There was a study done in the Seattle schools where this all started to begin with, and they discovered that less than 5% of the girls were involved in STEM-related fields. And we can identify that because our student population is about 4% female. In 3 years, that jumped from less than 5% to over 50%. That's amazing. But really, it's not, because it shouldn't be that surprising, because, you know, what girls, you know, what they don't know, what they don't know. And when you show them what's out there available to them, they get excited that, wow, I can do this stuff. I thought only guys could do this, but hey, I can do it too. And rightfully so. So this statistic is what really caught our eye. So we're hoping that we can help make that kind of impact in the transportation industry too. One of the things we do is we try to offer resources to help students to meet their goals, to achieve their dreams. We work with youth groups like, well, I'm at FFA right now. There's over 55,000 here at this, and we have talked to lots and lots of students here, and a lot of girls, I might add too, about STEM-related fields and specifically the transportation industry. Hot Rodders of Tomorrow is another one we partner with. Skills USA, Top Tech Challenge. These are all scholarship opportunities for students. And then we work with foundations like the Imagine America Foundation. We're very proud of our partnership with them. They offer scholarships for a lot of our students. Our scholarship redemption to Imagine America has gone through the roof, and we're so excited about that, and that they're willing to partner with us. They help to make these webinars possible so we can reach out to you. And then we reach out to industry. I'm here with AGCO Corporation and really excited. They brought in some really cool equipment, which are like magnets for these kids that bring them to our booth. But it shows kids what's out there. But more importantly, it shows kids how industry and education go together. UTI, we're offering a training program for Fendt tractors at our Lisle campus. And I'm hoping that's going to spread to other campuses eventually too. And Fendt pays for that. They pay for the tuition for it. They also pay for their housing for the students. So it's an amazing program. But why are they doing it? They need technicians. And so they're partnering with us. So we do it with AGCO, but also with other corporations as well too, to show students what is out there available to them, to give them something to reach for. So, so the resources are out there to make students' education affordable. We never want a student to say, oh, I'd love to do that, I just can't afford it. That is just not, that's not acceptable. We're going to help students find a way to make it acceptable. We offer over $15 million in scholarships. However, I would love if there's someone on this webinar that could let me know how to get kids to to fill out scholarships, I would love to hear from you because it's very difficult to get them to do it. They'll tell you they're going to, but they don't always do it. But here's what we found that really works. Our TRIP package. TRIP stands for Tuition Reimbursement Incentive Program. This is just gone through the roof. It's really got the kids excited. What these are, these dealerships, we have hundreds of them across the country. They offer incentive packages to our graduates to get them to come to work for them. Remember, they're all these dealerships are competing for the same kids, the same technicians. And so we want to give them, or they want to, to give the opportunity to help students pick them over the others. So they offer things like student loan repayment assistance. That could be anywhere from $200, $300, $400 a month. They give them on top of their salary to pay for the student loans. Hiring incentive packages, tool purchase assistance, boot allowances, sign-on bonuses, tenure bonuses if they will stay for 3 or 4 years. They're offering all these packages anywhere from $10,000 to $40,000, and it's working. The kids, they get excited about it because I guess it's like a goal to work towards, a light at the end of the tunnel, if you will, but it definitely works. So we're pretty excited about our TRIP program. So what are the 2 takeaways today? Well, the first key takeaway I want you to get is, first of all, high school counselors and educators can strengthen all post-secondary education pathways, including certificate programs. What does that mean? CTE programs are no longer Plan B. They're no longer the alternative. They are Plan A. No longer do we say, well, gosh, if it doesn't work out for you to be a doctor or a veterinarian or a teacher, you could always work on cars. You could always be a welder. Well, have you looked under the hood of a new Volvo lately? It'll scare you to death. All the technology in these vehicles. These are highly trained technicians. There is no Plan B here. These young men and young women, this is what they want to do. This is what they want to be. And they have tremendous skills. The STEM skills is what they're going to be using. So the other thing is, you as educators, too, you have to remember perception is everything. When you call something a college fair, what's that telling the student? I'll have people say, well, yeah, I say college fair, but I mean everything. Well, students may not see it that way. They say, oh, college fair, I'm not going to college. I want to go to a trade school. I want to go to a technical school. I want to go into a mentorship program or something like that. So they feel left out. So make sure you're including all your students, and please celebrate the successes of all your students. And on top of this too, I know you all have questions about parents. This is a great opportunity to get parents involved. If you want to get parents supporting you, get them involved and let them do stuff too. Let them see how cool STEM is. Have a STEM activity for them, something like that, or do something with industry, because industry will bill for it. The second part, higher education leaders are instrumental in enabling students to acquire education beyond high school. Students need skills. They need training. Some of your students will go to work right after high school. There's nothing wrong with that. Some will go into a mentorship program. Nothing wrong with that. But remember, that's only as good as the mentor. You get a bad mentor, you're not going to get the training you need. But some type of training is necessary. We have to recognize these are highly skilled technicians, and who's really in tune to that are the dealerships that are going to hire these students. The more skills you have, the more marketable you are. So just going off into the world blind is not really a very smart way to go. You want to make sure you have some kind of training there to make sure that you can achieve the goals that you want. I'm a retired educator. I know what you guys do on a daily basis. I've spent 25 years in public education. I know how hard you work. I know the things that you do for your students, and you should be commended for those things. What we want to do is we want to partner with you. We want to host your students at our open houses. In fact, there's an open house coming up at our Bloomfield campus. Kevin Giro, who's the regional admissions director, asked me to announce that it will be on November 13th at 9 a.m. at the campus. Bring everybody, bring those parents, bring your students. You guys can come. The more the merrier. We have great events there. I'm going to be hosting a counselor event on November the 15th at the Bloomfield campus as well. We'll also come and visit you. We'll come to you. We have a truck and trailer that we'll bring out and do STEM demonstrations. We do workshops, STEM workshops, career pathways, career readiness. We do them, and they're all free. I even do professional development. If your staff is looking for professional development, I'd love to work with you, and we can give them CEU credits for that as well. Do some professional development activities with them. But anything to partner with you guys, because we know what you do, we love what you do, and we just want to help you any way we possibly can. And once again, as I said, everything is free. And then finally, this is my contact information. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, comments. I'd love to hear from you. If I can help you in any way, that's my email address. You had my phone number from earlier in the presentation. Anything I can do, I'd love to. So thank you so much for spending part of your afternoon with me. Good luck to you for the rest of your school year. Thank you.
All right, great. Thanks, Dr. Coyle. We're now going to open this up for the Q&A portion of our presentation. I've also thrown up a poll question. If you'd like somebody to contact you about, possibly presenting similar information to this to your students, please indicate so on the poll so that we know who to reach out to after this is over. Dr. Coyle, the first question comes in. This person wants to know, and I think you may have mentioned it, but is Universal Technical Institute Title IV eligible, and can students apply for the FAFSA in order to go to school there?
Yes, we are Title IV funded. So yeah, you fill out the FAFSA to see if the student qualifies for financial aid. We do Pell Grants, of course, the student loans, but we also use that to help figure out, because we have grants. We have housing grants, we have relocation grants, we have other types of scholarships. And then you also be paired up with a financial aid advisor that will help the student and their family through this whole process, because it can be scary, and show them how affordable their education can be.
Right. Okay, great. This person wants to know if they'd like to contact somebody like a Universal Technical Institute rep. Should they go to the website or just contact you?
Well, you can do it either way. You can go to the website. There's a little box that will pop up if you have an inquiry about maybe hosting a workshop of some kind or something STEM, whatever you want to do, and fill that out, and someone will get in contact with you. However, if you feel safer, just go ahead and email me. I can set that up for you as well. I'd love to hear from you. A lot of counselors do that. They go that route. They just reach out to me, and I set all that up for them. Be glad to work with them.
Steve, this is Bob Martin again. The next question comes up is this one we get every time, which is programmatic and cost comparisons with community and technical colleges, because many times if the student's looking at UTI as an option, they're very often looking at the other community college or technical school option. Tell us a little bit about the ROI, if you would, to attend UTI as opposed to someplace else.
Well, yes, we do get this question very often. And, I love to use the letters ROI, the return on investment, because something can look cheaper on the outside, but in reality is not. If you're not getting a return on your investment, then what good is it? The first thing I always bring up is the time you're going to be in school. You go to a community college, you're going to be there 2 to 3 years. You go to university, you're going to be there 4 to 6 years. That's just it. UTI, you're going to be there 9 to 17 months. That's it. And 17 months is our most advanced training that we could possibly do. We don't take summers off. We don't do spring breaks because the industry doesn't. So we get students in, get them out, and get them employed in the industry. The second part is the alliances with the manufacturers. Yes, schools will tell you they have partners, or they have industry partners that they use, or whatever, and those are fine. But the alliances with the manufacturers, that's huge. And we have over 35 of those. So it gives students a lot of opportunities for advanced training. And then finally, the trip package that I just talked to you about, that's huge with students. I mean, it makes your education so affordable, but there is a catch. You got to work hard while you're in school. These companies, they want the best students they can get. They're going to look at your attendance. They're going to look at your grade point average. They're going to look at your professionalism, all these things. But you put everything out there, you do a good job, the reward is huge.
Well, any other questions, Lee, before we close this? This is another great session. Before we close?
Nope.
Well, let me give a few logistical points for our audience before we close. The Imagine America Foundation has recorded this session and will be forwarding it to all the registrants. The foundation also has placed or will be placing this session on our website, www.imagine-america.org, with download instructions, so you can go in, download it, and if you want to listen to it again, may have missed something first time listening to Dr. Coyle. Finally, my colleague Lee Doubleday is going to be sending out a survey to everyone who participated in this meeting, so you get a chance to give us feedback on the session, the information that was provided, and also some ideas on what you think would be potential future topics that we should be discussing. Before closing, I'd like to thank all the education participants for taking time out of their very busy schedules. We know you got a lot of competing priorities, and we just appreciate you carving just a little bit of time out for us today to discuss this critical presentation done by UTI. Also, I'd like to thank Dr. Coyle for sharing with us today's presentation and encourage you to contact him directly for any questions. He's given you contact information. On behalf of the Imagine America Foundation, Lee Doubleday and myself, thank you and goodbye.